Hello, 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 and welcome on in. We are back, hopefully finishing up Paranormasight. It's been quite a run through, you know. It's had its moments of really scary, really creepy, kind of slower, methodical, what's going on kind of gameplay, and then right back into the scary, creepy, like you're gonna die if you make the wrong choice. So based on where we ended last time, we might be in for some scares tonight. And I am, if it hasn't been evidenced already, I am not I can't really do horror. I'm a little bit of a scaredy cat, not gonna lie. But hello, and I hope you're doing well. I hope wherever you are, you're having a good evening, a good day, a good morning. I hope that you're drinking water, taking your medicine, eating some food, getting some sleep, and taking care of yourself the best that you can in this moment. With all that being said, let's jump right back into it. All right, the big old story chart. It doesn't have a lot of branches. All right. We just met up with everyone, and we've been investigating things. Oh, interesting. Let's do this one. We're back to Haruo. Haruo and Richter visit Michio's home, having determined her to be a key player in the unsolved kidnapping case from a year before. As the complicated story begins to unravel, they encounter two men. I have a low battery. I'll plug my controller in first. Ooh. We've finally gotten into the part where all of our characters, all our protagonists are starting to meet up and interact with each other now. I know how USB ports work. All right, there we go. Gonna plug in my controller. All right, let's start. All the jazz. Near the Shiraishi household. Ma'am, allow me to introduce one of our country's most elite detectives. The name's Jun Ario. I'd hardly call myself elite, but either way, it's nice to meet you. This here is the brilliant Chief Inspector Tsutsumi. And yes, he's just as rough and tumble as he looks. Sometimes I really don't know if you're complimenting or putting me down. So you two are detectives? This is my client, Ms. Haruo Shigema. Her father's a big deal in the police himself, so remember to mind your manners. A bigwig named Shigema? Boss, do you know this guy? Shit, I've heard the name. You know I don't keep track of who's who in the upper echelons. No need to worry. I am my own person after all, and my father has nothing to do with any of this. Oh, did you hear that, boss? Looks like you're getting off easy again this time. Don't make it sound like I'm involved in some shady business. It ain't like that. You both seem rather jovial despite being detectives. How rare. All the police officers I've met have always been so dull. Well, you won't find any dull cops here. We'll round up all your criminals with a smile. That's our motto. How lovely. Keep it up. Hold on one second. This is the first time I'm hearing of that. Well, you're right about them not being your typical detectives. Oh, right. I'm this person. I wonder if that's where I would be able to pick that up. Or the bird. If I hadn't been able to earlier, I wonder if it would have been there now. Maybe not.
He seems like he's got a lot of experience working the streets. Most of the officers I know are bureaucratic desk jockey types. The contrast is rather striking. A young and energetic detective. He seems to have a strong sense of justice. If my son had the chance to grow older, perhaps he would have become an officer just like him. I thought we might cause trouble standing in the middle of the street talking like this, but so far we haven't drawn attention. Then again, that might just be because nobody wants to get involved with the case.
True.
What brings you here, Richter? You want a case?
That's right. I'm picking up the police's slack. Just you remember the kidnapping and murder case from last year?
Oh, I remember now. You're that Haruhi Shigema in the kidnapping case.
Huh? Did I miss something?
Don't be an idiot. It was the case where Misada Shigema's grandson was kidnapped. It must have been your son, ma'am.
Indeed. The story was suppressed by the news. In the end, it was considered a huge failure on the police department's part.
Most of the investigation was conducted in secret. And unfortunately, the department is unwilling to reopen the case.
And the investigation carried out afterwards turned up nothing at all. Which is why I'm now on the job.
So they never caught the culprit, huh?
That's rough.
So your findings brought you to this place then?
That's right. An individual connected to the case used to live around here.
Used to?
That's right. As of last week, they're deceased. We'd hoped to talk to the family. No one was home when I checked last time, so we figured we'd try again.
Interesting.
Sure doesn't look good on the police to be mishandling cases like these. If there's really a culprit, it should be our responsibility to bring them to get justice.
Well, I do consider the police my people. So you consider the blame to be shared. You've got a stern side as well, I see.
Okay.
By the way, ma'am, might be sudden. There's something I'd like to confirm with you.
And that is?
Do you happen to know anything about the 7 mysteries of Honjo?
Sorry, Chief, but that's hardly...
With all due respect, investigator, I think my question was addressed to the lady.
If you insist.
What do you say, ma'am? Can you tell us anything?
I've heard of the 7 mysteries, but this talk of curses eludes me.
That's so. Well, sorry for the intrusion. Come to think of it, I heard some things about this area last night. Something about a strange and conspicuous man dressed in white loitering around.
Wait a second.
Seemed they were talking about you, investigator.
Well, I won't argue that it's strange and conspicuously dressed in white. And as it turns out, I was out here last night to conduct my investigation.
Did you run into anything strange or out of the ordinary?
Out of the ordinary? I guess I did observe a few suspicious characters. You were asking about curses just now. Why would a public servant be interested in the occult? Boss, Richter's a smart man. He can help us if we tell him what we know. I can't promise I'll be of any help to you, but I'm interested in hearing what you've got to say. Something's happening in Honjo, isn't there? It must be something big if they've got you, head of office guys on it.
Well, I guess it's alright. Desperate times call for desperate measures.
Thank you, boss. Listen closely to what we're about to say, Richter. So by using curses to commit murders, these people collect soul dregs to perform the rite of resurrection. And these curse stones are somehow connected to the 7 mysteries of Honjo? It's a tough story to swallow, but I don't see a reason to doubt you either. Well, figured the strange occurrences happening around here recently were connected to these curses. To get the situation under control, we've been searching for the curse bearers to confiscate their curse stones. Do you have any information that might help us? That's tough. I never expected curses and other mumbo-jumbo to play into this all. What if we're talking shady characters? There was this middle-aged fellow I saw on South Waragasui Street. He had an average build, he was anxious, like he was searching for prey. Boss, what do you think?
Considering the location, it could have been Hideki Araishi. We already got his curse stone.
Impressive, you two are working quick.
You see anything else?
Not that I can remember.
It's a shame.
Oh, hi Richter. It seems they were acquainted, but also like they haven't talked in a long time. I guess knowing how to deal with cops is also part of an investigator's job. Not quite. The two of us used to be comrades is all. Comrades? That's right. Richter used to be part of the police force himself. He quit a few years ago to go solo. Is that so? You should give it a try, Ario. More freedom in working as a private investigator. Can't say much for the quality of life, though. It's been 2 years, right? I hadn't heard of you since you quit. I didn't think your business would last, but here you are. You sure you don't want to return to the force? We take you back with open arms. What? To sit on my ass and watch the birds fly? I'll take a pass. I don't belong in that world. Come on, Richter. We need your talent. The public needs you. Nah, you don't. This is my calling. Police will manage just fine without me. I'll keep on tying up all your loose ends, saving the little birdies you abandoned.
See any characters who look like they might be carrying a curse stone? Be a huge help if you let us know.
Absolutely. I'll let you know if we find anything. Richter, perhaps you could lend a hand on our case too. There's a number of people we can't track, and finding missing persons happens to be your specialty, no? I hate to disappoint, but I'm busy enough with this case. The faith of my clients is what keeps me afloat. I have to prioritize requests by the order in which they come. I see. Well, can't say that's not fair. What do you need a private investigator for anyway? The cops should have plenty of bright folks to throw at the job. True, but this isn't an ordinary case we're dealing with here.
By the way, that reminds me, Richter. Yeah? You said the person who used to live here died last week. You wouldn't be referring to Michio Shiraishi, by any chance? You knew? I thought so. It seems like we're here for the same reason, then. Seriously? Michio was involved with curses and magic? Strictly speaking, the curse part isn't our concern. We're looking into Yoshimi's case. Yoshimi? Oh, right, Hajime Yoshimi's. That's right. He died on the job. I'm sure you've heard of it. I heard. It was a most unfortunate loss. So there's a connection between Hajime Yoshimi of the Juvenile Division and Michio.
Well, hold on. Let's focus on Michio for a second. I think she had something to do with the kidnapping.
Talk about unforeseen developments. Exchanging information should prove mutually beneficial. I'll tell you what I know, but in turn, I want the full scoop on your findings concerning Michio. Sure, to tell you the truth. What? You believe Michio's ghost is the one who killed Mr. Jinochi? So he wasn't just mumbling nonsense? I mean, we haven't fully confirmed anything yet. But the testimonies we've heard and the evidence we found put in that direction. Testimony? You mean from those, psychic high schoolers? Didn't they also say there was a chance Michio hadn't killed herself? Wait, if that's all true then, did you figure something out? Kankichiro or why? Huh? Kakichiro Iwai. He'll be the next victim. We have to open the door to the Shiraishi house. We need to look inside. Hey, what's gotten into you? Boss?
The landlord would give us the key if we asked.
Screw that. You know how long that could take? We could ask for permission later. Richter. Hey, Richter. Calm down. We can't just... That's fun. Take that, you shitty door. That's how you do it. Richter, get a hold of yourself. I see you're still the same as always. Everyone, come quick. Look at this.
Oh. Oh.
Huh? Whoa. What's with this room, boss? There's a dead body in here.
Oh. Could that be Michio's dad?
Nah. He's their stepdad at best, if that. It's gotta be the body of Kankichiro Iwai. There's no doubt about it. This man's a goner. He's gotten real messed up. It's like he's been like this for a while. I'd say it happened last night. Ario, did you find Jonichi's body in the same state? Now that you mention it, it looked as though Kohei-jun, she had died from a number of heavy blows.
What are you suggesting, investigator?
It was Michio Shiraishi. She's alive. She used the power of the curse to get back at the men who ruined her life. And that's ridiculous. You're suggesting she actually revived? It's gotta be that. And if she's alive, then...
Oh.
My apologies for interrupting. I know we've just arrived at an interesting plot point. But do you really think a dead girl is going around taking revenge from beyond the grave? Consider this. What if Michio Shiraishi never died? But seeing as you've come this far, I'm sure you already know the truth, don't you? And so, I would have you answer me a question. Where in Honjo was Michio Shiraishi at the hour of 8 o'clock this morning? I legitimately don't know. Well, I have a thought. It exists one. Never died or was possessed. I see very well. Congratulations, you are correct. Yep. Well, either she's possessing or is our dear friend. As expected, you got it in one go. Yako. Well, the cause of death was such, was it not? You must have noticed some time ago. Let's get back to the story then, shall we? I've taken up enough of your time. It's Yako. Yeah, it's Yako. What? So, you really think Michio Shiraishi's alive? Just think it through and it all becomes obvious.
It tracks, but... Really think that girl could have managed all of this? First of all, Ario, go report this to HQ.
Understood. I'll get on it right away.
Start investigating this place. Sure isn't lacking in stuff that needs a looking at.
There's a bunch of photos of the same person. Pasted on the wall over there.
Is that Nejima?
Huh? Oh, now hold on, these photos. These are all of Fumochika Nejima. Gross.
Really? Come to think of it, he was in the papers a lot back in the day.
Very true.
Oh, there's even more pasted up over here. These are all cutouts from newspapers and magazines about the Nejima murders.
I don't get it. Why the weirdo shrine?
Let's keep looking around. Look at these. Pictures of Fumochika Nejima. Cut out from newspapers and magazines. Whoever put these up was obsessed. I wonder what their intent was.
Think the Shiraishis are somehow connected to Nejima's case? Perhaps they did this as to not forget a grudge or something. It's crazy to think Nejima might be involved in all of this too.
Do you think he might have anything to do with the body here?
Maybe. The man's already out on parole. He's a curse bearer with a curse stone now. He announced that from sundown today, he'll be going on a killing spree.
Oh dear.
There's an emergency search underway as we speak. But no one's yet managed to get a hold of the bastard.
So he hasn't changed his ways. That doesn't bode well. To tell you the truth, the lady here isn't completely unconnected from the Nejima murders either.
You don't say.
That's right. We talked about it last night. 20 years ago, I found the hand in Sumida River that brought the incident to light.
You don't say. You were the kid from back then. You're really brave. You did a great deed.
Were you the detective I spoke with? I had no idea.
So you two have met before. Fancy that. I've been worried that Fumochika Nejima might bear resentment towards you, ma'am.
You might be right. Fortunately, that asshole is quite the resentful type.
Oh dear.
That asshole. I wonder who put the idea into his head. Now he's got the one-sided read, too. He's threatening to massacre the people of Honjo at sundown.
Seriously?
Top of that, he's been itching to get revenge on me as well. Of all things, man's gone and threatened to kill my daughter.
Damn, that's quite a threat. Certainly you can't afford to stay put here.
Fucker wants to get us all antsy. When I finally get to arresting him, it'll be with a cool head.
Not gonna give him the pleasure, huh? Well, if Hawaii and Fumichika Nejima have anything to do with each other, then this room might hold a clue to Nejima's location.
Let's hope so.
There's nothing around to confirm his identity, but by the looks of him, I'd say he's Kichiro Iwai.
Seen him before.
I heard he had a criminal record, so I assumed he wouldn't have held a respectable occupation.
Is this what a curse does to a person?
Ma'am, it'd be better not to look closely.
It's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
There's candles and stones with inscriptions placed all over. Are these tools for some ritual?
Hey, don't touch anything here.
Ah, that's right. Considering this is a murder scene, we ought to leave everything as it is.
All of this can be used as evidence. If anyone besides forensics toys with it, it'll cause trouble down the road.
There are old books scattered everywhere. I wonder what they're about. Many of them are written in a foreign language. It'll be a pain to look through all of these. Let's save that for later and continue to look around. It's off-putting to look at, but can't help but wonder what in the world this is.
They're magic runes. They're used in Western black magic rituals. Most of the time, they're useless imitations, though. Wouldn't get too excited about it.
Oh my. Who knew the Chief Inspector was such an expert on the occult?
Just chanced upon that information. That girl with the spirit sense we mentioned, she's pretty informed on the subject.
Someone was attempting to perform Western black magic in this place? Pretty absurd if you ask me. Of course, the person in question was dead serious about it all. Western black magic. While magic is often classed as a branch of mysticism, or may variously refer to the likes of witchcraft or astrology, here it refers specifically to Western black magic. In the Middle Ages, the line between science and magic was blurred, with the pursuit of the supernatural considered a legitimate academic discipline. Astrology was regarded akin to astronomy, while alchemy was accepted as scientific fact and would eventually evolve into what is now known as chemistry. One discipline, however, was considered wicked and shunned accordingly: black magic, the practice of using magical knowledge to strike a bargain with demons. In contrast to the socially acceptable subjects studied by the intelligentsia, black magic was most prolific among the lower classes. It was the common people who suffered most from the ills of the day: war, famine, and sickness, which perhaps led them to seek aid from unholy powers. As heresy, these rituals and spells were nowhere to be found in orthodox modes of teaching, but instead were recorded in tomes of dubious credibility. There you go. We've done the decorations. Looks like the things spread around here have been like this for a while now. This ritual or whatever was something he attempted up to recently. Plenty of the neighbors mentioned having heard strange mantra-like noises coming from here during the night.
Think Hawaii was the one chanting?
Hard to say. It could have been one of the Shiraishis as well. We look through these books at the back, we might learn whatever it is we're trying to do. It's the same man in every picture. Is that Fumochika Nejima? Wow, this is quite the spectacle. I don't think I'll ever manage to erase this from my mind.
Don't worry, Richter. You're quite the spectacle yourself.
Do you mean to compare me with the likes of a bizarre criminal? These aren't just cuts from publications, they even snapped a number of shots on their own.
They must have admired him. Why else would they have collected so many pictures?
Whatever the case, it's certain they were obsessed. The person who put all these photos up must have been obsessed with Nejima. They might have had some relation to Nejima's victims. Or perhaps it was the opposite.
The opposite?
What if it wasn't loathing, but admiration?
But then...
What do you say, Chief? Would you let me look through it if I wore gloves?
Well, it's not like I'm any help with foreign languages. Go ahead.
Thank you. Huh. This seems to be a book on Western black magic. The same runes are written here alongside detailed descriptions of the procedures. I suppose you'd call these grimoires. It's all a bunch of nonsense if you ask me, though.
Think there's a why guy was studying them? Perhaps perform some kind of ritual?
There are a bunch of handwritten notes beside the grimoires. Whoever it was, they were serious about this. I doesn't look the type to be into this stuff, but you shouldn't judge a book by its cover. Why would he be studying black magic? According to the materials, here rune is for the restoration of youth. Perhaps he was trying to become young again. This over here seems to be black magic related to resurrection. Each one of these spells requires a human sacrifice. Talk about dangerous.
Resurrection? Like the rite?
I guess no matter what part of the world, people will turn to the occult for similar reasons.
What is it?
This looks like a journal. It's probably a wise.
A journal?
His writing is surprisingly thorough. It's almost as if he was writing a report for someone. Oh wow, now this is something.
What is it? What did he write?
This is quite the find. Let me give you a summary. So, this Kankichiro Iwai fellow, he's been searching for a spell to restore youth for years.
So he was into black magic from the start.
He believed if he could learn to successfully perform the spell, he could then use it to earn a fortune. To tell you the truth, it seems he was already getting funded after he acquired this grimoire.
You don't say. This is starting to sound kind of familiar.
But first, let's find out how he got his hands on this grimoire. It seems that Nejima told him where he could obtain the book when they were both in prison.
What? That's nearly too much of a coincidence.
Likely not coincidence. It seems like Iwai took an interest in the Nejima murders after it made the news. He admired him rather passionately. You might even say he worshipped the man.
Worship? Nejima of all people.
This was a time when students were itching to rebel. Anyone who did something to shake the world was bound to gather admirers. Iwai had been collecting these photos ever since that time. And since he just so happened to land in prison at the same time as Nejima, he made sure to get in contact.
This is a lot. I mean, even having it all laid out like this. Thought of Nejima being involved with these grimoires is staggering. don't think we've ever had anything pointing to that. What's the connection?
To be honest, it's a shock to me too. For years, we've been scratching our heads over the motives behind the Nejima murders.
Yep, it's been a mystery to all of us from the very start. Oh no. Wait just 1 minute. Do you think... No way! Are you saying...
That's right. The murders might have been for a ritual. He was attempting to perform black magic. The instructions written down for the sacrificial offering match up exactly with the acts carried out by Nejima.
Gotta be kidding me. So that sadistic crap he was doing was all for black magic?
That's what the evidence suggests. However, Nejima tried to do some type of resurrection ritual, but Owai had different motives. Chief Inspector, you might think this is all the stuff of fantasy, but it doesn't refute that Nejima and Owai were both acting in earnest.
This is batshit insane. You're telling me that nutjob did all this for some hokey-pokey resurrection? Shit, resurrection.
That means there must have been someone Nejima wanted to bring back to life.
Damn, that's it. That has to be it. Fucking hell, it all makes sense now.
What is it?
So about the Nejima murders. There's some information that's been kept from the public.
Oh yeah? Go on.
When we broke into his house and arrested him, we also found a baby.
A baby?
Huh? It was a girl. Looked to be about 6 months old. She was covered in filth. She looked so weak and sickly. Called the medics right away. If we were a second later, I'm sure the girl would have died.
So, was Nejima the father?
He told us he'd found her under a bridge.
He found her? She was abandoned? I've heard of parents threatening to leave their child under a bridge is a threat, but to think it really happens. I suppose there are those cases with the dead newborns found stuffed in coin lockers, so it's not without precedent.
Whatever the case, we never found out the truth. There's one rumor from back then that I can never get out of my mind.
Oh yeah? And it's starting to sound more likely now.
Well, I'm sure this isn't the first time you've heard of it. Many believe Nejima's guilty of more crimes than what got him convicted. Back then, a lot of girls went missing.
Yeah, I remember all of that.
On the high school girls that might have been murdered, or maybe I should say, sacrificed. It was a girl who was pregnant.
Goodness. That's horrific.
He killed her and dismembered her body. And we thought maybe the baby we found is what he pulled out from inside her.
Jesus.
Don't misunderstand me, this is all speculation on top of more speculation here. But everyone never believed that man would just take in a baby he found under a bridge.
I'm feeling sick. Stay strong, ma'am. I know this is hard to hear.
Like I said, I don't take that to be the full truth. We were running on speculation back then. And then this whole resurrection magic has come into play. You should consider the possibility it was his child. And maybe he was trying to revive whoever the mother might have been. Just a theory. My life would be a tad easier if it were true.
That's an interesting thought. If there's anyone Nejima would want to resurrect, a deceased wife is as good as any. The fact that he obtained a curse stone suggests he has an interest in the rite of resurrection.
You're right. Here I was thinking he was only after the curse's power to massacre.
Chief Inspector,
Yeah?
what happened to the child?
Without a birth registration on file, best we could do was find the girl some suitable foster parents. It was decided to keep the circumstances secret for the sake of the child's future.
Well, I'm glad she was taken care of.
Yeah, who was it? Oh, there's more. Great. Don't mean to derail the conversation. We've derailed it already.
Don't mean to derail the conversation, but there's still more written in Awai's journal. We know Awai had managed to obtain the grimoire thanks to the advice he got from his idol, Nejima, while in prison. After conducting research and gathering more information, he determined he had a chance to get rich quick.
Right, he thought he could make some money if he could successfully use rejuvenation magic.
Correct. Turns out someone gave him the idea. Okay. There've been a couple of typos in this game.
And get this. It was the one and only queen and chairman of Hihaku Soaps herself, Natsue Yamamori.
You don't say.
Wait, chairwoman of Hihaku Soaps?
So that's where this leads.
Here, let me read what he wrote. The Queen of Hihaku has a strange fear of growing old. Her fear of death is even worse. If she does die, she wishes to be revived, and she will spend whatever it takes to preserve her beauty. Magic rituals and rites, she'll use whatever means necessary. Her tenacity is unbelievable. She was apparently investing money into any research on resurrection, the restoration of youth, and the like.
She would even throw her money at the occult. Places greed will take you. Well then, that brings us to Hideki Araishi. He presumably funded his research into the rite of resurrection as well.
And that's what it all points towards. I wouldn't be surprised if the Witch of Hihaku pounced at the rumors of the rite of resurrection.
It's starting to sound likely.
Might also be why she's spreading the rumor about having godly powers. It's a convenient cover for if she becomes young again.
Godly powers? What's that all about?
You can ignore that. Either way, I think Awai took the payments he was getting for his research to seduce a family into taking him in to keep a low profile. Shiraishi family. Michio and her mother, Toshiko, were just his unlucky marks. And this is where you get involved. Are you feeling steady, ma'am? Huh? This has something to do with me?
I don't know.
No, you can't mean.
Oh, jeez. Well, yeah. I thought that might have been where it was going.
You realize then. Perhaps.
Oh, what is this? Natsu Yamamori's. Toshiko Shiraishi's. Michio Shiraishi's. Was a child.
Kankichiro Awai's living sacrifice was a child.
That's exactly it. Awai moved in with the Shiraishis to practice his magic. He needed a sacrifice to perform his youth restoration spell, but that meant extracting the life force from someone young.
Oh no. Of course, that awful man. So it was a why, this man.
Iwai worshipped Nejima, so he must have also despised Nejima's detractors. Not to mention he was captured and sent to jail once before. Surely he had a bone to pick with the police. So when he realized he had the chance to both avenge Nejima, embarrass the police, and acquire a living sacrifice at the same time. Fuck! You got it, Iwai kidnapped Haruhi Shigima's son. You managed to score 3 birds with 1 stone.
You're telling me then that horrid man never had the intention of returning my child?
Can't do it. I thought there might have been a reason why the kidnapper seemed to be mocking the police. He never wanted money. His aim was to humiliate the force. It all makes sense. He must have used Michio to lower your boy's defenses and then kidnapped him on his way back home.
That man, he took Shuichi?
Ma'am, please calm down. I understand, but you must remember to breathe.
You don't understand. You have absolutely no idea what I'm going through. This isn't a joke. I wouldn't expect the police to understand. You'll never understand. Living sacrifices. What a stupid, stupid idea. From a stupid little man.
Okay, ma'am, let's just take a moment to breathe. Why don't we get some fresh air?
I can't believe this. This.
Chief, I think it's best if we take our leave. But before we go, there's one more important piece of information noted in his journal.
Oh?
And why he got in contact with Nejima last year, after Nejima was released on parole. He provided him with accommodation and financial support.
Is that so?
He managed to find a hideout for Nejima to stay in. Damn it. If anything, rather than use his money to support the Shiraishis, it seems most went to Nejima instead. Nejima's lurking around anywhere at the moment. It's probably in that hideout.
Can you write where it is?
Unfortunately, no. Not that I can tell. But it seems Michio knew where it was. She never met with Nejima in person. She was made to go in and clean up, among other things.
Good is that information? The girl's already dead. Wait, no. She's alive.
That's right. Michio Shiraishi is alive. If you can find her and get her to talk, you can get her to spill the beans on his hideout too.
Investigator, I'm asking you.
I should be going. This lady's not well. Yeah? Konkichiro Iwai. Deceased body, was discovered at the Shiraishi home. Let's see. Common law husband of Michio Shiraishi, its mother, Toshiko Shiraishi. Konkichiro started coming and going from the Shiraishi household a little over a year ago. It seems he has served some time in prison, but the details are unknown. His deceased body was discovered at the Shiraishi home. Konkichiro once made a living by placing advertisements in magazines to sell phony magic items and good luck charms. He held a nostalgic yearning for the post-war era, when things and people were simple, and has nothing but negative things to say about the rapidly developing, ostentatious world of late. Radical in his belief that it would be better to tear down society and start over again, Konkichiro was discontent with his life spent poking around in society's cesspools to make a few coins. When the Nejima murders were widely reported in the media, it had a great impact on Konkichiro, as he witnessed how a single act by a single man could cause a major rift in society. Perceiving Fumichika Nejima as a great hero, he began collecting every piece of information he could find on the man. Kankichiro was later arrested for his illegal business practices. A chance meeting with Fumichika during his incarceration solidified his idolization. He was captivated by Fumichika's talk of black magic, and following his release acquired the grimoire Fumichika had hidden away. As for Toshiko Shiraishi, Kankichiro set his sights on her after encountering her at her part-time job. When he learned that the Shiraishi family was in financial trouble and could not afford to send Michio to college, he turned on the charm and took advantage of their weakness by offering them money. He revealed his true colors, however, after moving in with the family, and used violence and money to keep Toshiko and Michio under his thumb. All the while, his belief in black magic deepened, and he found a sponsor in the Hihako Corporation. Kankichiro forced the Shiraishi family to perform various rituals, with any attempts to resist being met with merciless beatings. The mother and daughter were helpless to resist. After Hihako offered Kankichiro great sums to intensify his work with black magic, he set his mind to sacrificing a child in order to perform a youth restoration spell. For this purpose, he chose Suichi Shigema, the son of Haruo Shigema, against whom Fumichika held a grudge. He attempted to enlist Michio so as not to alarm the boy, and when she resisted, beat her mother 20 times. Jeezums. With Michio's assistance, Kankichiro kidnapped Suichi and locked him up in the Shiraishi house, and told the young and courageous boy that he'd kill Michio if he tried to run. While his actions were motivated by a personal grudge against the police, it was first and foremost an attempt to create a societal uproar and break down in public order. So Kankichiro painted the crime as a regular kidnapping, demanding a ransom from the family. However, because of an embargo on the press, the kidnapping did not cause a public outcry akin to that of the Nejima murders. Infuriated, Kankichiro had Toshiko perform the sacrifice ritual by threatening to kill Michio if she refused. Toshiko killed Suichi in his sleep, but the spell failed, for which Kankichiro blamed her. Warning Michio to keep silent about the murder to avoid incriminating her mother, Kankichiro dumped the boy's body in a nearby river. A tiny corpse was found a week later in the Sumida River after floating through several canals in Honjo. Having drifted for days in the polluted waters, little evidence remained. Although Kankichiro performed no further sacrifices, his devotion to black magic only increased. Toshiko and Michio spent their days consumed by guilt, forced to continue serving Kankichiro until the day they died. Jeezums. It's a little dark. Oh, we're back here. We're not done yet. Are you feeling better now that we've gotten some fresh air, ma'am? I'm fine. Suddenly finding out who the kidnapper was really made me lose my wits. We managed to solve the kidnapping case by pure luck here. You're right. But Richter, I feel grateful towards Michio. Because she killed the kidnapper? There's that too. But it's for something else. If Michio's the one killing all these people, then she must have acquired quite a sizable amount by now. Soul dregs, I mean. Hey, Richter. Whether the kidnapper's dead or alive, it doesn't mean a thing. Revenge won't bring my boy back. Who's walking up behind us? Oh no, that's Richter. Okay, never mind. I thought I heard noises. And if Nejima is planning to cause a massacre to collect soul dregs, then all the better. I won't give up on resurrection. That's not surprising. So I'm counting on you. Oh, interesting. Let's do this first, and then we'll do some other stuff. Simon. The rite of resurrection is the inception of this whole affair. Yako and Mio decided to confront the man responsible for spreading rumors of it in the first place, Hideki Araishi. They found him at his frequent stomping grounds, the Kurokikyo Cafe. Oh, there's a bird. You know, normally you'd be breaking school rules just by stepping foot in a cafe. I'll be in hot water if you lied about having permission from the police, remember that. We know, it'll be okay. So, what do you want to ask me? Hey, look around. Can I see the bird? Bird! Mockingbird number 8. Which one is number 8? Sparing Sparrow Bros. Alright. Or Sparring Sparrow Bros. A cafe? I've never been to one before. How exciting. It's pretty smelly inside because of the cigarette smoke, but... Kurokikyo Cafe. Oh, I got that one too. A coffee shop on South Rodagasui Street. Kurokikyo Cafe's convenient location has made it a favorite of businessmen in the neighborhood. Although formerly a relaxing location where classical and jazz music were played, the cafe has begun incorporating some pop songs into its playlist at the request of customers. The most popular menu item is a pilaf served with black coffee, although cream soda topped with a large scoop of ice cream is also a popular choice. Fashionable cafes featuring jazz and live performance were in vogue until the mid-Showa era, when the number of cafes offering a carefully brewed cup of coffee and a relaxed atmosphere began to increase. Many of these locations also have public telephones, making them convenient meeting places. However, they also developed a reputation as hangout spots for delinquents, leading a large number of schools to forbid their students from patronizing them. In recent years, table arcade games have become a big hit, affording cafes installing them a steady stream of customers. And then, the Shigema kidnapping overview. A kidnapping and murder case that took place in Honjo, Sumida, around 1 year ago. Haruhei Shigema's son, Suichi, age 11, was kidnapped on his way home from school, with a ransom being demanded that same evening. Initially, the kidnapping was thought of as a simple extortion scheme, but when it came to light that the Shigema family was closely tied to the police, and Suichi was in fact the grandson of a senior official, it was quickly assumed that the perpetrator was acting upon a grudge against the police force. The kidnapping was treated as a direct attack against the good name of the police, and a large-scale investigation was launched that used the best equipment available to trace phone calls. This made it all the more embarrassing when they were unable to catch the culprit, losing the public's confidence. The culprit grew cocky, relentlessly mocking the police force. After 3 days of failure after failure, Haruhei reached a breaking point. Spurred by concern for her son, she resolved to hand over the ransom money as fast as possible, but her husband and father, who held the prestige of the police in high regard, refused, saying that they would not let the criminal win by giving in to their demands. The increasingly frantic detective assigned to the case lost his temper when the criminal called to give an ultimatum, causing the culprit to never make contact again. Another week passed, and Suichi's body was found floating in the Sumida River. Suichi's death could be largely ascribed to the police's incompetence, and this was ultimately covered up with stringent media embargoes. The investigation was never closed, but the case has long gone cold. Subsequent investigations revealed that the culprit was in fact Konkichiro Iwai, an unemployed man. Toshiko Shiraishi, his common-law wife, and Michio Shiraishi, their daughter, acted as accomplices. Konkichiro routinely used violence against both Toshiko and Michio to force them to do his bidding, and it is believed that he coerced them into becoming accessories to the crime. Konkichiro wanted to use the boy as a living sacrifice for his magical studies, meaning that the ransom was never actually the primary motive for the kidnapping. The reason for targeting the Shigemu's family's son was due to a personal grievance. Makes sense. How many do we have? How many ones do we not have yet? We're seeing 17, 19, 21, 23, 41. And that's it. All right. Anything else? Whoa, I'm really zoomed in. My word. All right.
Yucko, if you would. Right, we wanted to ask you about this.
Oh my, curse stone. An Okami mask, that must mean the Fool's Procession. You two were at the school last night. Damn, there of all places? Yako, you're one of them. You're a curse bearer.
Please calm down, Mr. Araishi. Your reaction is too intense. It's kind of scaring me.
I'm sorry about that. I'm afraid I got ahead of myself. What is it you wanted to know about your curse stone?
What would be the best way to approach this?
He kind of does give into intimidation. What should we use on him? Let's try flattering him.
It's just, a brilliant teacher like you must know an awful lot about these curse stones.
Well, it's true that I'm likely the person most well versed in this matter.
You're the only one we can count on, Mr. Araishi. Won't you help us, please?
Oh, am I now? In that case, there's no harm hearing what you have to ask.
Thank you, let's see. Why is everything with the Rite of Resurrection and Seven Mysteries curse stones happening now?
Oh, taking an interest now that you've received one of the curses, have you? You sound like a researcher, starting your questioning with your subject's origins.
Mr. Araishi? You're not the one who triggered the curse, are you?
No, I'm afraid I had nothing to do with that. Rather, I wasn't even attempting to do so in the first place. Completing the rite itself has nothing to do with my research.
Then, do you know the ancient Omyodo ritual known as the Feast of Shadows?
What's that? Something from the occult? Miss Kurosuzu? You look like the type to be interested in those things, but it's outside my field of expertise.
In that case, why do you think the rite and curses have appeared now? I believe this is the intentional work of someone.
It's certainly not something that would happen by accident. Why is it you want to know?
Well, he may not tell us anything. Else, if we say what we're trying to stop the curse, we need to make something up. Right.
Let's make something up.
Well, you see, we just have such intellectual curiosity and think it could really help your research.
I see, now that you mention it.
Seems like he's reluctant to answer. Then how about...
Let me ask. Sorry about that, by the way.
Then, what does the record of fates that you've been researching say about the Rite of Resurrection?
Oh, I see, that's what you want to know. Allow me first to elucidate you regarding the author of the Record of Fates. A special privilege, I might add, since I've yet to publish this in a paper.
Yeah, okay.
The Record of Fates was written 200 years ago, in the latter half of the Edo period. It was written by a skilled but little-known omnyoji called Seimon Tsuchimikado. This is important stuff. If nothing else, remember this.
Seimon Sumichi Mikado. I've never heard of him.
Sure you haven't. He was born into a famed Onmyoji family, but split away to practice forbidden arts in secret. He used whatever name was most convenient for the situation, so his real name barely exists in records. Or so it is written in the Record of Fates.
Huh?
As brilliant as Seimon was, he was also an eccentric. He delved into researching the Rite of Resurrection, a legendary forbidden ritual that had never been completed. However, by involving himself with this forbidden ritual, he was expelled from his family, and eventually found himself in Honjo in Edo. Record of Fates are the writings Seimon recorded on the road to Edo.
Oh, I see. So he wrote how to perform the rite itself.
The Rite of Resurrection makes use of Abe no Seimei's specialty, the Taizen Fukun ritual, a means of communicating with the afterlife. It uses soul drags to replicate the soul of a dead spirit that's been called.
Oh wow, I never knew something like that existed.
Thus, it's thought the only ones who can use it are those with the ability to turn human souls into soul drags in the first place. So the Rite of Resurrection calls for that ritual to be performed in advance. Then, when the soul drags are gathered and infused with the wish of whoever's performing the ritual, it can be completed. The contents written in the Record of Fates end there.
There's no more? What about the 7 mysteries or the curse stones?
There's nothing written about them in the Record of Fates. The curse stones are separate from the Rite of Resurrection. Their curse is one used to enable one who's unable to perform such rituals to be able to use the rite.
Huh? That's similar to what Mio said, actually.
Yeah, well, there's 12 and 19.
Onmyoji. An officially appointed government position with the Bureau of Onmyo in medieval Japan. Onmyoji were tasked with performing divinations and rituals. They would employ the Chinese philosophies of yin and yang and wuxing. Wuxing? The 5 elements to compose astronomical charts and almanacs. High-ranking practitioners used a variety of mystical arts, including ones that brought natural disasters and curses. Onmyoji were also tasked with exorcising demons through the usage of shikigami. Onmyoji thrived during the Heian period, in part due to the work of the famous Onmyoji and late founder of the Tsuchi Mikado family, clan Abe no Seimei. However, Onmyoji began to gradually decline in number after samurai gained control of Japan. At the same time, many of the miraculous arts were lost along with the development of civilization. Although the services of Onmyoji were typically reserved for the upper class, there were a number of shomonji, or hidden Onmyoji, who worked for the common folk. Interesting. The Rite of Resurrection. As indicated by its name, this manuscript holds detailed instructions on how to perform the secret art of reviving the dead. This forbidden ritual is said to have been devised by a once famous Onmyoji. Local researcher Hideki Araishi recently discovered the old manuscript and gave a presentation on it at an academic conference, sending ripples through the field of occult studies. According to the Record of Fates, this mysterious ritual was devised by the gifted Onmyoji Abe no Seimei. It converts the souls of the dead bound from the underworld with soul dregs collected as sacrifices through the Taizen Fukun ritual. The secret art of converting souls to soul dregs is out of reach to all but the most skilled practitioners. Interesting. How are the 7 mysteries related to the rite? Excuse me, Mr. Araishi.
What is it, Miss Kurosuzu?
You published a theory before the incident took place. It said the Rite of Resurrection and origin of the 7 mysteries of Honjo are related somehow. What proof did you have of that?
You really know your stuff, but about that, that was a somewhat sensationalized piece written for occult magazines.
Oh, really? It was just nonsense then?
Not exactly, rather.
It's not a complete fabrication. There's a basis for it.
And that is?
Well, I suppose there's no harm in telling a couple of students so passionate about this topic.
Thank you.
This is something I've discovered from referencing numerous texts unrelated to the Record of Fates. It was just after Seaman arrived in Honjo. There are records of a conflict over a ritual used to resurrect the dead in Honjo.
A conflict over resurrecting the dead?
I don't know the details. A man enticed the public with claims of a spell that could resurrect the dead, causing a conflict that ended tragically with 9 dead. 9 dead, that's why there are 9 mysteries. That's the only remaining reference.
9 people fighting over a resurrection ritual.
I call this tragedy the Honjo incident, and it's long been the subject of my research. And I suspect this Honjo incident might have been the very origin of the 7 mysteries of Honjo.
So what you're saying is, the resurrection ritual at the root of the Honjo incident is Seaman's rite of resurrection.
Yes, this is how the Record of Fates ties everything together. To put in chronological order, first Seaman brought the rite of resurrection to Edo. We can assume that by this point Seaman was likely using a different name. Then in Honjo, 9 people fought to the death over this rite, the Honjo incident. After that, the incident was covered up by an interested party, preventing it from being recorded in history fully. Eventually it was passed down in incomplete pieces, becoming known as the 7 mysteries of Honjo. That's more or less the course of events.
During the Edo period, a chain of events that occurred around a certain resurrection spell became the basis for the 7 mysteries of Honjo. And besides of updating a couple of things though. 1, 2, 3. There's only 3 more files that we don't have.
So that's how they're connected. Then if I'm getting this right, the 7 mysteries were basically required to gather the soul dregs necessary for the rite. And there's more. With this most recent occurrence of the curse, I've become even more confident in my theory.
You are?
Yes, the reason for it being the resentful memories of the 7 mysteries etched to those who received the curse stones.
Resentful memories?
Yako, if you're really a curse bearer, and when you obtained your curse stone, you would have had a resentful memory imprinted in your mind.
Oh, I did.
Exactly. Those memories are what happened in the final moments of the 9 who died in the Honjo incident. Broadly speaking, they involved dying while bearing some kind of deep resentment. 9 victims became the 9 curse echoes, which over time came to be spoken of as the 7 mysteries, thus gathering the resentful memories granted by the present curses and connecting them together. Will reveal once and for all what happened during the Honjo incident.
Huh?
That's why you must tell me about the resentful memory of your fool's possession, Yako.
Mio, should I?
Yeah, I think it's okay. We need all the information we can get.
Don't really have a choice.
Okay, Mr. Uraishi. I'll tell you about the memory of the fool's procession. Excellent.
Don't look like that, man.
But basically, it's about a woman who died falling from the Yagura Tower at a festival. Interesting. It's not that one, then.
Not that one? What do you mean?
Among the 9 victims at the Honjo incident, that is to say the 9 curse echoes, one of them is Seaman himself, or so I suspect.
Huh?
Seaman was one of the victims at the Honjo incident too? Meaning an emoji as powerful as him also became a curse echo.
I wonder if that's the beach tree one. Because it's the man that kind of like was peddling these narratives and wound up getting
killed. So maybe.
Right, it would make sense that the curse stone tied to a curse echo like that would be special. The power of a curse stone is different based on the curse echo? Meow, meow, meow. Then maybe with Siemens curse echo we could... Yes, maybe we'd be able to settle this whole situation.
Hey, what are you two whispering about?
Oh, nothing, sorry. Mr. Araishi, how many of the resentful memories have you gathered so far?
I've learned a number of them. The Evergreen Beach, the Foot Washing Mansion, the Ever-Burning Lantern, and now the Fool's... I mean, we had learned that. That kind of sounds like it could have been, so I wonder which one it isn't. It's 4. Of those, the most important are the Foot Washing Mansion and the Evergreen Beach.
What are they about?
First, the Foot Washing Mansion. Now, Myoji appears distinctly in this one.
Really?
But not Seimon, I'm afraid. A female Myoji who sought the right of resurrection due to her obsession with her personal appearance. Her legs, which she had always taken pride in, were stricken with corruption after she was defeated by Seimon. Her curse echo is notable for being particularly easy to fulfill the requirements necessary to use the curse. The detective did well to escape this one.
So a female Myoji and a rival of Seimon was involved in the Honjo incident. That certainly is interesting.
Next, the Evergreen Beach. This curse echo is from a craftsman of Netsuke carvings named Jinkichi, who was hanged for spreading baseless rumors. Oh, it was the craftsman that was hung, that's right. He apparently spoke of something that granted the ability to bring back the dead.
The right of resurrection.
Precisely, this man Jinkichi must have been in contact with Seimon. If I could just collect all of the memories, everything will be revealed and the truth of the 7 mysteries will be mine. It's the knowledge I desire.
Meaning you need to gather as much information as you can from the curse bearers.
Precisely. I have an agreement to exchange information with those detectives. They might not even find the other curse bearers, so I must take measures of my own.
Another thing.
Yes?
You never really finished about what the trigger for all of this was.
Well, I don't know.
Really? Really? You're not hiding something from us, are you? It has something to do with how you obtained the Record of Fates, right? How did you really get a hold of the Record of Fates? To tell you the truth, we're in a race against time. It could be a disaster if we don't hurry.
What are you talking about?
Someone left a warning that at sundown today they would use the curse to kill a lot of people. The one who left that message is the culprit behind the Nejima murders from 20 years ago.
What? Something so terrible will happen?
I won't allow potentially hundreds of people to become victims of a curse. I'll do anything in my power to stop it.
Mr. Araishi,
Please, tell us everything you know.
I'm sorry, but I truly don't know anything. Truth is, I was given the Record of Fates by a woman.
A woman?
Oh? Who? Well, her voice sounded like a woman's, but I didn't actually see what she looked like. 1 month ago, while I was investigating at night, I suddenly hear a formless voice.
A woman's voice?
It said, I entrust you with this ancient manuscript, and the right of resurrection held within its pages. Spread rumors of this ritual as far and wide as you can in the coming month. And before I knew it, an old document had fallen down at my feet.
1 month? She specified the time period?
I was told if I did that, I could study the manuscript as much as I pleased. I wanted so badly to verify its authenticity, I ended up accepting it. I hadn't heard anything from the voice since then.
Must have had you spread rumors in order to strengthen the power of the curse. To tie together the curse and the desire to seek out the right. This makes it likely that the owner of the voice is the mastermind behind all of this.
Hence I went public with the Record of Fates. Yahaku and occult magazines immediately jumping at the news was a financial boon for me.
Huh? Hihaku? As in Hihaku soaps?
Right, I mean, no, that's not important, just some personal business. After that, I waited, trying to predict what would occur in a month's time. That's when the curse began. Those are all the details I have.
Is there anything else you know?
Very well, I told you this much, I may as well give you one more thing.
Thank you, what might that be?
About Seaman's Record of Fates. There's a sort of continuation to it. Another document called the Record of Fates Yin Scroll.
A continuation?
Actually, a section written in Seaman's own hand was appended to the manuscript. According of which, after the Honjo incident, Seaman lamented such a calamity taking place. He apparently wrote the addendum for the event that the tragedy became its own curse. It seems he had an idea that the victims of the Honjo incident would turn into curse echoes and be used to gather soul dregs. Supposedly details how to handle any trouble that occurs as a result of the rite of resurrection.
Really?
Hold on a second.
Don't you find that strange?
What's the matter, Miss Sakazaki? You think my information inaccurate?
If Seaman died in the Honjo incident, then he couldn't have written an addendum.
Really don't get it, do you?
Am I wrong?
You've forgotten the abilities Simon possessed.
Of course not. He could use the right of Oh. You're telling me Seaman used it on himself?
The rite of resurrection being carried out in advance so that it activates when the soul dregs are gathered together.
Oh.
And is it not possible for Seaman himself was resurrected by the rite after it all took place?
But he'd still have to collect the soul dregs used for the rite. Yes, and that's why they died. The 8 others besides Seaman. What? They died in the Honjo incident for their soul dregs? That sounds like it's the same as what's happening now.
That's why I need the resentful memories to learn the truth.
I get it now. The issue at hand is that the Yin Scroll and the Record of Fates were supposed to have been passed down as a set.
When I received the Record of Fates, the Yin Scroll was gone. Only this information was left. Supposedly, Seaman's blood descendants guarded it as they passed it down across generations. Seems that over the long history, the two documents became separated, and the scroll's location lost as his family line branched.
Seaman had descendants? So there's someone out there related to him by blood even now.
Yes, in fact, I tried to trace the line as far as I could. It wasn't a well-known onmyoji to begin with, so a detailed family tree does not exist. Seems likely that the use of the manuscripts has been long forgotten, only being passed down out of tradition. And since they aren't even aware of what they have, tracking it down is quite tricky indeed. Wish I could ask whoever that voice belonged to about the Yin Scroll.
I'm sure you do. So basically, in the Record of Fate's Yin Scroll, Seaman himself wrote about ways to handle the curse and the rite, yes?
Yes, that's right. I've been searching for it all this time, but haven't found a single lead. So if you do find out anything about other resentful memories or Yin Scroll, tell me immediately. You owe me that much for telling you all this, do you not? That's the real extent of everything I know.
The Record of Fate's Yin Scroll. It said that Seimin Tsuchimikado, author of the Record of Fates, wrote the Yin Scroll because he feared that the descendants of those involved in the Honjo incident might become cursed and used in the collection of soul dregs for the rite of resurrection. The existence of the Yin Scroll was indicated in a postscript added to the Record of Fates, but its whereabouts are currently unknown. It's believed to have been inherited by a descendant of Seimon.
from the Edo period. The manuscript was written... Oh, sorry, this is the whole thing. An old manuscript from the Edo period written by the sorcerer who recovered the rite of resurrection. It's viewed as a priceless and authentic document due to its detailed account of how to perform the ritual. Hideki Araishi claimed to have he found it in the storehouse of an old private residence, but was in fact entrusted to him by a mysterious voice. The manuscript was written by Seimin Tsuchimikado, an onmyoji from the Edo period. He was an extraordinary adept practitioner, but after being banished from his family for researching forbidden arts, he changed his name and moved to Edo.
Yes, I understand. Thank you for your help.
If you bring me some useful information, I'll take it into consideration for your school grades as well. Yeah, man, you can... Thanks for the info. You can F off now. Street.
We've learned a lot. So to sum it up, there was a tragic incident with people cursing each other in the Rite of Resurrection in the Edo period as well. And the Record of Fate's Yin Scroll may have info we want since it details how to stop the rite. I think that's about it. Right. If we could just find the Yin Scroll, we might be able to learn how to settle the situation. But even Mr. Araishi didn't have any leads on where it is. How do we start looking for it? Someone involved in this now must have some connection to it, I think. I have a feeling the mastermind who awakened the curse is involved too. Right. So, Mio, what are we going to do next? Good question. It may be best to give the information we've learned to Inspector Tsutsumi. We got a pretty big clue from the hearing about the Record of Fate's Yin Scroll. Mr. Tsutsumi might know more about it. Should we go back to school then? Yeah. That's our point of contact after all. Was ever behind that voice that gave Mr. Araishi the Record of Fates? That must be the mastermind, don't you think? Yeah, and he said it sounded like it belonged to a woman. Whoever it is, I bet they're scary. Huh? You don't sound like the Yako I know. The let's catch him and make him spill the beans? Thought you'd say something like that.
It's funny, isn't it?
Really? I guess I'm just not really feeling that confident right now. I understand.
Yeah. Not the Yako I know. I wonder why that is.
I don't know if it's related to that woman behind the voice. But I'm also interested in the female onmyoji who was a rival of Seimu. Oh, that reminds me, Mio. You know what's nearby here, don't you?
Hmm?
Oh, you mean where Michio? Yeah, where it happened. I was going there every day to leave flowers, even though they always get cleared away anyways. I'm sure it must be hard to be reminded of Michio's death all the time. Oh, that reminds me, Yako. Yeah? When you asked me to do the spirit board 2 days ago, did you come here that day too? Yeah, I left some flowers before going to school. Why? Did anything seem different that day? What's this all of a sudden? Though now that you mention it, that day I suddenly felt lightheaded and ended up passing out for a little bit. But I came to right away and I felt fine. I didn't think anything of it.
Mm-hmm.
I see. That's all I was wondering about, thanks.
Mm-hmm. Excuse me, you girls over there. Uh-huh. Yup. Sorry, I didn't mean to eavesdrop, but something you said caught my attention.
And who might you be?
I'm Yutaru Namagaki. I should probably tell you, until yesterday, I was a curse bearer. That should clear things up.
A curse bearer? Oh, you don't need to be scared.
I've already given up the cursed stone to the foot of the foot-washing mansion. The foot-washing mansion? So you're the one that Inspector Tsutsumi was talking about. Ah, you already know Inspector Tsutsumi. And that makes this simple. There's nothing to worry about. Oh, hey. You're in the driver's seat.
Oh? He's the killer?
Yako? Yes, wait, what? Just now was I doing something? Sorry, Mr. Nabugaki. What might be the matter? Right, I actually wanted to discuss something with you two. Won't you come with me if you have a little time? Discuss something with us? You were talking about Michio Shiraishi, right? It's related to that. Huh? I'm sure you would learn a few things yourselves. Not now, later is fine. I'll be waiting around the Ryogoku Bridge. Something rubs me the wrong way about this, but he mentioned Michio. What do we do?
Let's talk to Yutaro first.
Well, I suppose we may as well hear what he has to say. Glad to hear it. And then shall we relocate elsewhere?
Oh, we're also doing this first. Interesting.
So what did you want to discuss with us? Let's see, how do I put this? I'll tell you straight. I want you two to use your curse stones to bring Michio Shiraishi back from the dead. What? That's why I was pursuing the rite of resurrection in the first place. Unfortunately, I had to give up my curse stone before I could succeed. But you two are curse bearers, with some kind of connection to her. Which means this is the perfect opportunity for me to ask you this. Well, I'm sorry this is all so sudden. I still don't understand why you would want this. What exactly is your relationship with Michio?
Well,
we met briefly once. I was sad to hear the news of her death the other day. Right. Well, it would be great if we could bring Michio back. We've already decided not to use the rite of resurrection. Is that so? It seems, however, that we share a goal. Wouldn't mind collecting the soul dregs for you if you gave me a curse stone, you know. We'll have to decline that as well. Our goal is to stop the curse.
Yako. Where'd you go? Yako. Oh boy. Well, I think I can see where this is going.
I see. Well, that's too bad. I suppose I'll have to give up the curse on the curse stones. Thank you for understanding.
Why did Yako walk away?
Phew, I thought he was a little suspicious, but he left without making a fuss. Why does he want to bring Michio back? Huh? Yako? Uh-oh. Did she go off somewhere while we were talking?
Dun dun dun. Oh. We jumped a lot now. Uh-huh.
Hey, I finally caught up to you. I don't know if you've noticed me following you or not, but leading me to a secluded place, you've got guts. Sorry, but I'll be taking your curse stone. Either you hand it over, or I'll have to take it by force.
Bud, you messed up.
What? Why are you... No. She's here again. I don't understand. Wait. It was just an accident. I swear I didn't mean to. That's why I was trying to bring you back.
Oh. You were already
dead? Too late. Huh? Well, go ahead and assume these aren't the real credits. Also because it's going by way too fast. You can't even read anything. Oh. No, we can keep going. I wasn't expecting that option, to be quite honest with you. After this, Fumichiko Nejima went on to use the power of his curse to commit mass murder, shocking the public with unprecedented tragedy. Well, that would be the bad ending. And from that day on, Yako Sakazaki was never heard from again. Ending 1, Michio's grudge. Yep. Yep. Well, it does mean I think we are close to the end now. We're getting endings. Well, we'll go back. Resume from where we were, which is we go to the school. Start from Namagaki's appearance.
Excuse me, you girls over there? Whoa. Sorry, didn't mean to eavesdrop, but something you said caught my attention. And who might you be? I'm Yutaro Namagaki. I should probably tell you, until yesterday I was a curse bearer that could clear things up. A curse bearer? Well, you don't need to be scared. I've already given up the curse stone of the foot-washing mansion.
We've read all through this already.
You're in the driver's seat.
Yep. Michio's grudge wins. Thus, we know because we're supposed to meet. We ultimately wind up, I think, meeting up with the detectives at one point after this, so it makes no sense that I don't know how many endings there are. We're gonna have to find out. There's at least 2. My guess, probably 3 or 4, but I imagine they should be pretty quick to get in succession. Well, hopefully. Or else I'm gonna be here all night. Go to school first.
Sorry, but there's something we gotta take care of. We'll have to pass.
How are you doing, Perry? Welcome on in.
Is that so? Well, that's too bad. I'm in no rush, so I'll be waiting at Ryogoku Bridge if you change your minds.
Yeah, I can't do that yet. All right. I'm doing pretty well. Trying to get, finish up this game. It's been a ride. It's been a hoot and a holler. Wondering if I'm gonna, don't know how many more jump scares there are. Hopefully not many, because I'm a coward. But, see what we can do.
Boss, I just talked to the Sumida police.
Oh, what now?
They found an abandoned van in the Chiba Mountains that looked like it'd been in an accident. They couldn't lift any fingerprints from it, but they found blood splatters on the front. And guess what? The blood is a perfect match for Michio's.
Uh-huh. It must be the van that hit Michio.
You've got it. It's all thanks to Yoshimi that we were able to find that out. The license plate had been removed, though, and they even scraped off the vehicle identification number. It'll take a while to identify the owner. Now they're trying to figure out if the van was sighted anywhere between the scene of the crime and where it was dumped.
Got it. Thanks for the report.
Oh, there's a bird. Which bird are you? Number 15. Quackitude. That's cute. How many do I have of these? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I'm probably not getting all 20.
It's nice that we got permission to use the school as our base of operations. Principal and head teacher were a little reluctant at first, but they were convinced that it'd help the investigation. Dealing with all this must be a real headache for those guys. I should thank them again later.
By the way, boss, we've confirmed that Michio died in a vehicular collision. But are we sure that it was really an accident?
Question. I was wondering the same thing.
The damage done by the collision indicates that the driver was traveling at a considerable speed. There are no brake marks to be found.
Exactly. Suggests they may have been intentionally targeting Michio. And what was the motive, you think?
Who would have reason to kill Michio? The first person that comes to mind is Konkichiro Owai. After all, she knew about his crimes. But then, Owai was supposedly able to control Michio by intimidation alone. There's also that teacher who was taking advantage of Michio, Kohei Jinochi. But to say he killed her to stop people from finding out that he was blackmailing her doesn't seem likely somehow.
You're right. And both of them have fallen prey to her curse.
That's true, in that case. Quite possible she'll also decide to exact revenge on the person who ran her over. Yeah, she does, if we chose a different path.
Not just possible, she may already have done it last night, just like with Owai.
Is there anything else that could be served as motive?
A talisman, maybe. The one Yoshimi was looking for.
Oh, do you think someone wanted to take it from her?
Well, his talisman wasn't found on her remains, nor in her house.
But doesn't a hit and run seem like too drastic a measure to go for a little talisman?
In the end, it might have just been an unfortunate accident after all.
Yeah, it looks that way. Either way, what we need now is testimony from Michio herself. With a bit of luck, we may be able to ask her what happened during the crash ourselves.
Yeah, I can't wrap my head around that particular development. Still have my doubts it'll be so easy.
Either way, we won't be able to do this unless Mio and Yako turn up.
Rather have them come sooner rather than later, but guess we just have to wait. Shall we head inside?
Alright then. Yeah, I think we're... Oh,
Hey, Ari, I wanted to ask you something.
aye aye, boss.
Jeez, you're an eager beaver. I haven't even said what it was yet.
Right, well, what is it then? Can't remember what you had for dinner last night?
It's like that agent over there is having some trouble with his pen. If you got a spare, go lend it to him. For the record, I had Katsudan last night. Don't need to worry about me going senile just yet.
I know I look like a genius, but I didn't think I came across as the type to carry spare pens on my person.
You a genius? You're dreaming.
But if his pen stopped working, he can't get it going again with a bit of nail polish remover? Why is that highlighted? How's that gonna come up?
Nail polish remover?
Yeah, you know, what you use to remove nail polish. Never used it before.
Do I look like I would have? Don't make me sound crazy for not having used the stuff. I doubt you have either.
Oh no, I've used it all right. Do you know it can remove oil-based ink stains? There's also one can be used to fix old dried up pen nibs. Whatever is in there that removes the ink also doubles as a way to unclog pens.
Oh, good to know. Still wouldn't call you a genius, but it's something.
You gotta make sure the remover doesn't mix with the ink though, or it'll ruin it.
Doesn't that defeat the purpose?
Not to worry. You don't have a nail polish remover on me right now anyway.
Oh, no problem. That doesn't fix anything.
Long story short, I don't have a spare pen.
He's alright, I'll let him know.
Boss, I thought you were going for Mio in the school. It was. Hold your horses. Alright, let's go wait inside the school. Sure, they'll be here any moment. Well, that's a funny one considering the other path you can take where you don't show up and then everyone dies. So that's fun. We'll do this one because we're still in the same vein and then we'll go up. I'll see you again. Ain't that interesting?
Ain't that interesting? The Record of Fate's Yin scroll, huh?
Well done, you two. That's good info you got from that teacher. Thank you. Good job, boss. Operation Schoolgirl was a success. Please don't call it that.
Ario, stop making things sound weird. Anyways, let's share what we found at Michio Shiraishi's house.
Yes, please. Yes? A man named Y kidnapped sacrifices for black magic? And Michio helped with the kidnapping? And Mr. Denochi used that to blackmail her? Yeah, not much of a reaction, huh?
Based on the report and looking at the circumstances surrounding the deaths of Jinochi and Awai, Michio Shiraishi did it, it would make sense. Furthermore, there are signs that Michio Shiraishi wanted someone to notice.
Oh, really?
The ribbon that was left at the scene of Kohei's death is proof of that. Mio, I'm guessing you knew that already.
Ah, yes, ever since this morning. There's one piece of information I need. But I think we're near her limit. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I think we're near her limit. I'll come back to that later, yeah. So if we get this record of Fate's Yin Scroll, we'll be able to dispel the curse? Yes, the source of the curse is a tragic event called the Honjo incident. It dates back to the Edo period. An Onmyoji named Seimon Tsuchimikado is said to have recorded a way to deal with the curse. So I think there may be some way to dispel the curse.
Right. I'll leave how to approach this to you, Mio. I'll check with the Paranormal Affairs Bureau as well. Please make finding the record of Fate's Yin Scroll your top priority.
Understood. But how do we get about looking for it? It's possible the defendants of Seimon have inherited it, but I don't think that they're aware of its existence. It'd be nice if we had a clan crest or something to go off of. Maybe we'll have to ask Paranormal Affairs. Well, that reminds me, Mio. Was the Western black magic used by Awai and Nejima really just an imitation? Why are you asking me? Oh, boss said that you knew about this sort of thing.
Do you not?
Well, I mean, I have some knowledge, but... Oh, strange. I don't think I've ever told anyone that. It's okay, Mio, no one's judging you. Right. But it still feels a little weird. Yeah? So, what's your opinion on it as someone familiar with the Western black magic? If I could have a look at their grimoire, I could be sure, but... Based on their methods, I'd say they imitated black magic popular around 300 years ago.
It was advertised as magic anyone could use. It was employed as camouflage to evade witch hunters. It's notable because they purposely required living sacrifices to make it difficult to disprove its authenticity. Wow, you know so much, I'm impressed. It totally matches with the vibe you got going on. What do you mean by that? Don't worry, have some confidence. Right, thanks, I guess.
That black magic's just an imitation that we probably don't have to worry about it.
I'm just glad things aren't getting even more confusing than they already are.
Alright, about the mastermind, I had an idea.
What is it?
This is about the chairwoman of Hihaku Soaps, isn't it? You mentioned her when you were telling us about that Awai person.
Yep, when the goal is to restore youth or to resurrect someone, she's got her hands all over this. She has money too, and also match Hideki Araishi's account of a woman's voice.
An evil business lady with supernatural powers? Classic setting.
If only we could confirm those powers of hers were actually real.
We'll need to keep an eye on her. We'll tell HQ to look into her.
Nope, there's one more.
Now then, if we're nearing the limit, stop beating around the bush. Time to tell it to you straight. Yako Sakazaki.
What, me? Yes?
Take out your curse stone and give it to Mio.
My curse stone? It's just in my pocket all this time. Thanks, I'm just gonna borrow it for a second.
Well?
Yes. There are soul dregs inside after all. What? How did this happen? I didn't do anything, I swear, you have to believe me. It's okay, we know.
Yako, calm down and listen to what I'm about to tell you.
But...
There's no mistake that Jinochi and Awai were killed by that curse stone. And the one who committed the act is... the ghost of Michio Shiraishi that is inside you, Yako Sakazaki.
What? Inside me? What? What do you mean? It's okay, Yako. Please calm down and listen. You've been possessed, Yako. By Michio's ghost. What? It probably happened when you were offering flowers at the site of the accident. Filled with regret, her lingering ghost reacted to the presence of her old friend and entered you, Yako. No way. You mean Michio's ghost is inside me? I've explained this once before, but just because you've been possessed doesn't mean that you lose control of yourself. Normally, the mind will reject such attempts, and it do nothing more than affects one's mood or energy levels. But Michio had powerful spirit sense to begin with. Because she was your friend, your mind was open to accepting Michio's spirit. So for those reasons, your minds merged without any issue. It's going to be difficult to separate her from you at this point, which also means it will be difficult to guide her spirit to the afterlife. No way, we merged? Me and Michio's minds are... But I don't feel different at all. I mean, I'm me, I think. That's because after she merged with you, Michio started to believe she was you as well. As a ghost possessing you, she's not fully conscious. Only really a jumble of vague memories. Still, there are traces of her consciousness and memories as Michio Shiraishi. You have been acting a little different than usual. You would also sometimes react when coming into contact with things with a powerful influence. Really? That having been said, if we don't have a proper understanding of the regrets Michio Shiraishi had when she died and why, it would be difficult to separate her from you. That's why I didn't say anything, I'm sorry. I've carelessly provoked her ghost, It could have risked causing her to dig in even deeper into your mind. Oh no. When we mentioned limits earlier, we mean that by letting this proceed like this, there's a possibility that you will join completely, making it impossible to separate her ghost from you. If that happens, you'll never be able to tell which of your thoughts belong to her and which belong to you. What? That's so scary. You mean I won't be myself anymore? But if it's Michio, then maybe it wouldn't be so bad. Oh, I don't know. What should I do? But it was actually Michio who used the curse stone while I was unaware, wasn't it? Does that mean her ghost has already taken over my body? Well, about that. I think that's probably the effect of the curse amplifying murderous impulses and the influence of the Feast of Shadows. While you were sleeping, the ghost's powers were boosted. And strengthened by the feast, Michio's consciousness surfaced and took control of your body. Then that means I was the one who killed them? I cursed them both? Yako, no, you were being controlled. Right, Inspector?
Yeah, that's right. It's likely she'd be recognized as not being responsible for the crime due to the possession. It's not something you control, no need to worry about that.
No, you're wrong. I wanted to kill them too. Those feelings must have come out. It's not only Michio's fault. I mean, I learned that Michio didn't commit suicide, I wish that all the cruel adults around me would just die. I had the curse stone with me and I wanted to get revenge for Michio if the chance came. That's how I felt. Yako, because Michio wasn't able to escape her terrible situation. It was so hard. I wouldn't be unusual for someone to take their own life. And I had this curse stone. I made Michio get revenge all by herself. Michio tried so hard to keep on living in silence, and I treated those feelings like they were worthless. I should have done it myself right away. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Michio. That's why I killed them. Yako. There you are. Oh, hi, Michio. What's up with you? You've had me worried sick since you haven't been coming to school lately. Feels like it's been forever. I'm glad you seem to be doing okay. Yeah, sorry. And I'm sorry I didn't tell you why. I've always regretted it. Oh, come on, you're acting like we aren't buds. You tell me if anyone is making you sad and I'll take care of them. Thanks, Yako. Actually, I'm here because there's something I wanted to tell you. Really? What's the matter? You can tell me anything. Well, the truth is, I did something unforgivable to an innocent man. Saying that I was forced to and didn't have a choice doesn't undo it. I'm sorry. I feel so guilty. What? I've done so much I can't take back. All because I was weak. There's no escaping the hell that I've created for myself. I couldn't handle it anymore. I started thinking about killing him and dying myself. Neither of us deserve to live in this world. What? But something went wrong, and that's why I died with regrets. Thanks to you, I finished what I wanted to do. Thank you. And I'm sorry for dragging you into this. What? Wait, you don't need to apologize. It's only now that I realize. And I know how selfish it is. but I hope you remember the time we spent together as friends. And know how we were able to be together at the end. Please, don't forget me. Huh? No, Michio, wait! Huh? You're awake. Do you feel okay? I'm sorry I had to spring that all on you, Yako. What? Is this... Are we in the classroom? Huh? Was I dreaming?
Sorry to rush this along while you're still gathering your feelings, but we need to hear what Michio Shiraishi has to say now.
Right. So after considering what to do, is it true that Michio's consciousness has mixed with yours? But if I summoned her ghost, we may be able to establish some communication. Oh, I understand. So you thought to use the spirit board again? Yep, I have a hunch. I think the spirit we called last time may have actually been Michio herself. Really, you think? And that her spirit has been close to you ever since then? Then let's do it. I think we should, and I want to hear from her. Very well. I have no idea if this will work during daytime, but let's give it a try. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Yeah, I'm ready. Okay, here we go. Do you remember how to do it? Place your finger on the 10 yen coin.
Oh, sorry. Oop.
Right, like this. Good, now do as I do. O Spectre of the Spirit Board, please visit us. O Spectre of the Spirit Board, please visit us. Please tell us if you are there.
There you go.
It's here. Now, is it the spirit of Michio? Yako, would you ask the spirit? Alright. O Spectre of the Spirit Board, are you the spirit of Michio Shiraishi? It said yes. Don't be so sure. Sometimes spirits like to play tricks. Can you try asking it a question only Michio would know the answer to? A question only Michio would know the answer to. Let's see then. A Spectre of the Spirit Board. How much did the ribbon I bought with Michio cost? $490, that's right. Well, it seems we have the right spirit. Okay, can I have you ask her a question? Okay, what do you want me to ask her? I want you to ask about the location of Fumichika Nejima's hideout and location of the talisman as well. Okay. Oh, Spectre of the Spirit Board, please tell me the location of Fumichika Nejima's hideout. Please, terrible things will happen if he isn't captured soon. I'm sure it's painful to try and remember, but you're the only one who can help us, Michio. Please. It moved. This is an address. She's giving us the address. Amazing, thank you, Michio. Okay, I have the address, thank you.
Alright, here we go. Get a move on and check out that address.
Yes, sir, I'll contact HQ and order a simultaneous house search and sweep of the area. Just hope the information is accurate. I know it is.
Oh, interesting. I get to answer I do get to ask the other question.
Oh, Spectre of the Spirit Board, do you know where the talisman that you had is?
You do. There you go.
She does know. I wonder if we can find a way to narrow it down. I'll try asking. Well, Spectre of the Spirit Board, did you carry around the talisman with you at all times?
Okay.
So she did carry it with her. Then, did you have it with you when you had your accident?
All right.
She had it with her. But there was nothing resembling a talisman in the articles left behind at the scene.
I mean, someone took it with them and ran off with it before the scene was investigated.
But who would do that? I mean, someone knew Michio had died before the police did.
First person to discover and report it was the caretaker of the apartment building next door. Should we check with him?
Let's see. The other possibility I can think of is the perpetrator of the hit and run. But it was a hit and run. Wouldn't they have run away? It might be possible they came back driven by fear or something else.
Even if so, they didn't report it and went through her belongings. To only take the talisman seems hard to believe. Unless they were after the talisman from the very beginning.
How likely is that? If the talisman really is so special.
Rio mentioned the same thing. To run someone over just to take something from them. It's possible they just picked up the talisman after hitting her for no particular reason.
Either way, if it really is a hit and run, then I hope they get caught. It's possible she remembers something after seeing that picture of the car. Then, shall we try asking? I'll try.
Well, we know. Let's see if Michio spills the beans.
Well, Spectre of the Spirit Board, do you know who was behind the hit and run?
Yup.
She says she knows. That's a relief. If she hadn't known, huh? In order for Michio's spirit to find peace, we need as much detailed information about what happened as possible. We can't send her off to the afterlife if we don't know what happened to her when she died. This isn't like a forced exorcism. So that's what it'll take? Alright, try asking. Right. A Spectre of the Spirit Board, who was the one who ran you over? I hope she knows the name. I wonder.
Nakagaki. Namagaki, sorry. Yep.
Namigaki? Huh? Namagaki?
What? You mean Yutaro Namagaki? You two know him?
We talked to him after we left the cafe. He used to be a curse bearer, right? I see, so that's why Yako, that reaction when she saw him. What? Come to think of it, that guy said he wanted to talk about Michio.
Did.
What the hell is he planning without his curse stone?
He said he'd be waiting near Ryogoku Bridge.
Got it, I'll join you there once we're done. It's the bastard who killed...
He's the bastard who killed Michio. Yako. This should have been enough information. We can release Michio from her suffering now. Let's do it. All right.
Say goodbye.
Oh, Spectre of the Spirit Board? No, Michio? Thank you. You helped us. You know, I'm so sorry I didn't know about it all. Your family, the kidnapping, Mr. Jinochi. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. It must have been so hard. Not that I could understand, but I'm sure it was so hard. I mean, of course you would want revenge. I wanted it too. We've all done things that we wish we could take back. But I'm glad that I at least know the truth. Yako, there's so much I want to say, but that's enough. Let me ask you one last thing. Someday, can we hang out again? Oh. You mean it? Okay. It's a promise. Have you asked everything you wanted? Yeah. Okay, I'm going to guide Michio's spirit now. Yeah, it's time to say goodbye. Michio, with this, I'll finally be able to free you. Hey, Yako. Yeah? You never accepted the idea that Michio took her own life. I'm glad you never stopped trying to find the truth. Yeah. You're right. Even though I didn't realize just how hard things were for her. Mio? Sorry. It's just Michio. She was taken advantage of by so many of the adults around her. She put up with so much. I should have tried to talk with her more. I know how you feel. Thanks, Mio. It hurts thinking about all the things I could have done. Why did this have to happen to someone so kind and hardworking? It feels like she was ill-fated to the very end. It's just too cruel. But even then, she didn't even tell me about this stuff. And she let herself worry about more about revenge than living. I'm mad at her for that. Sure, I should have noticed something was wrong, but come on. Ugh, what was she thinking? Seriously, I mean seriously. Am I really that unreliable? Of course, I'd help to get you revenge, you idiot. I don't care how you had changed or whatever. I just wanted you to live. Yako, I'll take responsibility for what's been done. But one day, if we meet on the other side, I'm gonna have to give her a good punch. Then tell her she's the real fool's procession or something. Then we'll hang out like always. Sounds like fun. Alright, I'm sending her off, okay? Oh, wait. Look, the coin, it moved to no all on its own. You're right. When did it do that? Seems like she still has something keeping her here. Yako, do you have any idea about what Michio wants? Me? Oh! Please, don't forget me. I think she told me she didn't want me to forget. I see, then. Michio? If you can hear my voice, let your feelings that you won't ever forget her be known. Show it through an action. What? Do something that shows you won't forget.
I don't know. Oh. Do something that shows that you'll never forget. Save. Yup.
Thank you. Though, I don't really want you to punch me. So, live a long life, okay? I'll see you later.
I have to go to Ryogoku Bridge. There's some really cool moments where the game makes you interact with the fact that it's a game. It is so cute. There's a couple of I guess puzzles, if you will, in this game that involve having to actually deal with the fact that you're in a game. And that's, some of them are really cool and really interesting.
Nyako, are you feeling alright? Yeah, I'm fine. Actually, I feel a lot better. I guess I really wasn't feeling like myself recently. It was like there was a part of me that I had no control of or something. Yeah, I think you're back to your normal self now. I'm glad there weren't any problems. I wonder if Michi was able to find peace. I know she did. You don't need to have to worry about that. It seems that her regret was not being able to tell you what was going on and growing apart from you. Well, I guess I can forgive her for that. But there's still something bothering me. Really? Yeah, I wonder what this feeling is. It's like there's a piece of her that hasn't left yet. Maybe an after effect. Maybe because you gave your stone to Chief Inspector Tsutsumi?
Doubt it. Having a curse stone shouldn't have any effect on your body.
But dealing with 4 curses sounds like a lot of stress. Good work, Chief.
Someone was like a completely different person all of a sudden. Are you really sure about this? Having us arrest you once this is all over? You might be able to get your case treated as just an accident.
It's fine. Treat me the same as someone who used a curse stone to kill someone. If anything, I should be thanking you for letting me go free until this is all over, so thanks, Chief.
Two p.m. Ryogoku Bridge.
Whoa. You didn't say anything about bringing the police.
Sorry, but we don't have time to care about what you have to say about us. What business do you have with this girl now that you've lost your curse stone? I'll tell you this for free, I have her curse stone already.
Yeah, mother trucker. Is there a bird over here, anyone? Just while we're here. You know. There sure is. Mockingbird number 11. Crane stem.
I don't have ill intentions. I wanted to tell you that I wanted to help you if you intend to resurrect Michio Shiraishi. That was my intention from the beginning when I received my curse stone.
And that's why I took your curse stone. Man can't be too careful. Besides, what connection do you have to Michio Shiraishi?
We, met once. I was so sad to hear the news of her death the other day.
Uh-huh.
Met once?
See, well, I'm sure it must have been painful for you, but... You think bringing back the dead will erase the fact that you hit her with your car?
What? I'm sure that I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah?
Oh no, I'll tell you. You'll let me ask you some questions in return. Did you just get your license recently? We found a van with bloodstains on it, you see. It's only a matter of time before we find out who the owner is.
What's that supposed to mean?
Why don't you tell me a little bit more about your relationship with Michio Shiraishi? Not only that, you killed someone with your curse stone, didn't you?
Stop. Stay away from me. Damn it. Okay, I give up. Now it's all over for me.
Afterwards, Yutaro Namagaki gave his confession. He admitted that he was behind the wheel of the van that hit Michio Shiraishi. He explained that he was speeding in order to impress a girl he had in the car with him.
Oh, who was the other person?
After hitting the schoolgirl, he drove away and planned to wash the car in secret and destroy the evidence. But he became nervous and went back to the scene of the crime at the urging of his passenger. When they returned to the scene, the female passenger went to check the victim alone while he sat panicking in the car. When she returned, she told him people were unlikely to assume a hit and run as it looked similar to a suicide by jumping from height. Afterwards, the pair parted ways and Yutaro dumped the vehicle deep in the woods under the cover of night.
Yeah, what's a little vehicular manslaughter for a first date? Although I'm imagining it was probably the girl who's trying to resurrect Hokusai, so they're kind of a match made in heaven, or hell.
The two of them decided to keep the accident a secret. The next morning, Michio Shiraishi's body was discovered, and luckily for them, her death was ruled a suicide. However, a darkness lingered within his heart. From that day on, the schoolgirl appeared before him covered in blood, her limbs bent and broken, despite him in his dreams every night. Even when awake, he would see a phantom of her corpse in the dark, moaning and cursing him at all times. Troubled by the constant hallucinations, it was only a number of days before he suffered a nervous breakdown. He couldn't bear hiding what he'd done anymore and planned to turn himself in, but was stopped by the passenger from that night. It was then he first heard rumors of the rite of resurrection. He thought that if he could resurrect the schoolgirl, that it would be like if the accident never happened. And with that, the darkness enshrouding his heart should be dissipated. From then on, he searched the areas associated with the 7 mysteries of Honjo every night. And he received the curse of the foot-washing mansion as a result.
I see.
That's right. I'm not a bad man. I wanted to turn myself in. It was the girl who tempted me. All right, Adam, let's calm down here. Blame it all on Eve or whatever.
Okay, calm down and listen, son. If you don't think you've done anything wrong, what would these girls think if they saw you run over that poor girl? Something I want to know. You know anything about a talisman that Michio should have had on her at the time of the accident?
A talisman? What are you talking about?
So you don't know anything. In that case, what about that woman who was with you? Can you ask her?
Oh, that's right. Everything is her fault in the first place.
Well, that may not be exactly wrong. Just riding passenger in a car involved in an involuntary vehicular manslaughter isn't a crime in and of itself. But according to your statement, she neglected her duty to seek aid and instigated you to neglect your duty to report the accident. And if she took an article from the scene, she'd also be charged with theft. Can you tell me who she is? You have no intent of hiding anything anymore, do you?
Yeah, that's right. It's her fault. And do what you want with her. It's time for her to face what she's done. Her name is Ayame Tono. She's an art student I met in town.
What?
Detective, these are shocking revelations. However, you gotta stop being shocked by every twist and turn, man.
An art student named Ayame Tono? Whoa, are you absolutely sure of that?
What point would there be in lying, you know? What, do you know her or something? She may look nice, but she's rotten on the inside. I'd like to be the parents who raised someone like that. Oh, is that your daughter, bud? Is that your daughter, bud?
Shut up.
Oh, it is. It absolutely is. Oh, great. Your daughter is... not great and wants to resurrect Hokusai. I don't think you are the best father figure, is what I'm gonna say.
What's wrong, Inspector Tsutsumi? You're drenched in sweat.
Oh, no, wait. Damn it, why? How could this happen? Listen up. I'm taking this one with me down to the station for more questions. You two go after the Record of Fate's Yin scroll, got that?
Okay, we will.
Come with me.
Whoa.
Let's get going. Yeah.
There's even more. All right, we're gonna jump back quickly to this one. Too much to handle. Shigema Mansion reception room. The news. Today, the body of an adult male was discovered in the residence of Toshiko Shiraishi's around noon. The man identified as Konkichiro Iwai is said to have been in a relationship with Toshiko. He was unemployed at the time of his death. While further investigations are still underway, it's suspected that his death is connected to the recent serial killings in Honjo. Evidence at the scene may also implicate Mr. Iwai in an unsolved child abduction and murder case from last year. Oh, I'm glad we turned the TV on for that. Well, ma'am, seems like we've managed to settle one part of the kidnapping case for now. Let's begin discussing our next steps.
Right.
What do you think? There's another. And we have our one bird, our first bird. No, there's nothing else. Okay. Let's just talk. Judging by the official announcements, it seems that Iwai wrote is likely true. With both the kidnapper and his young accomplice dead, the police should be able to handle the rest.
Now that it's over, I can't help but think how pitiful it all is. We never would have known a thing had we not found his journal.
Carelessness is what usually leads to crimes like these being exposed. It was pretty much the same with the Nejima murders. But stumbling across the answer by pure chance really makes you think. Makes my skin crawl to think how many cases like this are left undiscovered.
Me too. It's certainly disturbing.
Well, with the kidnapping case all wrapped up, we can focus our efforts on obtaining the right of resurrection, yes?
Indeed. I'm counting on you.
Alright, let's reassess this curse situation.
Right.
I must admit, I never expected the police to be so on top of things. Chief Inspector Tetsuo Tsutsumi provided us a good wealth of information. I'm surprised he knew so much about the curse bearers.
Do you think they noticed I'm one of them?
I'm pretty sure Ario didn't. The Chief Inspector, on the other hand, will have to be careful around him.
But if he had suspected anything, I'm sure he would have detained us. We should stay vigilant moving forward.
Agreed. Even if we steal a curse stone, you may not be able to successfully perform the rite unless you're a curse bearer yourself. Would you be okay with hanging on to the stone from now on?
Of course.
Just don't use it though, okay?
All right.
What we heard is true. There were just 3 curse bearers left to be discovered. There's the Whispering Canal, the Beckoning Light, and the Taiko of Suru, left to investigate. It may benefit us to visit the places connected to these stories a few times. I see. Still highly suspicious of the people at Hyaku Soaps. They could be the ones pulling the strings. The Takumi Yumioka fella is probably aware of the curse bearers we're searching for. Tracking his movements, that may prove to be useful.
You want to follow him?
If we were to follow anyone, he'd be my first choice, but... Damn it, times like these really have me wishing I had more personnel.
I imagine it's tough working on your own.
It's the plight of running a small business. I'm always on the hunt for a skilled assistant. And then there's Nejima, who appears to be a curse bearer too. The one-sided reed, I think it was. If you want to look for someone that's likely to gather a whole lot of soul tricks, well, look no further.
He did say he would unleash his curse on a large number of people at nightfall. If he gets the chance to, if the chief inspector manages to track down Michio, then well.
There's a chance he'll manage to apprehend Nejima before he gets up to no good.
But why did you tell the chief inspector about the safe house? If he hadn't had that lead.
It was written in Wai's memoirs. It was just a matter of time till he found out. Besides, we're talking about a massacre here. I can't just turn a blind eye.
How different is it from any other curse bearer collecting soul dregs?
Well, if we're talking Nejima, it would be a lot more dangerous. We'll just keep a close eye on Nejima and the cops.
What about the girl from before, Ayame Tono? Do you think she could be a curse bearer?
Well, there's a chance she could have gone and stolen someone else's curse stone by now.
That's possible too, but... We haven't been to Midoricho Park yet. The place connected to the Taiko of Suguru.
Alright, that's close to where she lives.
What if she was a curse bearer this entire time? She could have lied.
It's possible. Would make her a brilliant actress to boot. The ideal's got me itching to investigate her again. This is rather suspicious. If only we could run into someone there.
Richter?
Yes? Oh, that's right. Would you mind if we make a stop on our way? We can make it quick. I apologize for the diversion, but I'd like to visit a candy store if possible.
I suppose I don't mind.
Do I have the option to move? I do have the option to move now. Then, shall we depart? Oh, from this part on, you will be given the option to finish an investigation, which will allow you to immediately end this part. From there, you can continue on to the next part. You may also come back and restart this section for the point which you left off. Oh. Interesting. I see. There's a bird. Oh, no way! Jeez, you made me jump. Mockingbird number 14, Falcon Man. This guy's a real speed demon.
Oh, is that right?
Kinda scary how you even know the exact number with just a simple glance. Do I have 10 of them by now? Maybe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, I have 9. All right, ma'am. Should we go for mondiaki or something?
That's sweet of you, but I'm not hungry right now.
That's too bad. I haven't had great luck with this Mockingbird raffle. Would you mind if I tried a few more times? Apparently most of these are just replicas of the real deal. But even so, they're well worth the price. So the kids were saying they managed to snatch some real rare finds in this lottery.
Go ahead, don't buy them all now. Sonoya, the children seem pretty fond of this place. Looks comparatively new. They must have had renovations done not long ago. Shop's close to the park. The children have been coming and going without pause. Places like this candy shop have been slowly disappearing from the street view recently.
Oh, let's see. Look at myself. Hello.
It almost feels like I came here with a child. My boy never had much of a taste for sweets. It makes a kind of a fresh experience for me. He's up in front with the kids to participate in the raffle. It's weird seeing an adult his age enjoying himself so much at a candy store. Seems he didn't win anything. He's pouting so hard even the kids are laughing at him. Oh, look at the smile. He must have won something. How nice. Ah, damn, it's Mockingbird number 10, Cacophony. He's a nihilist, but he gets the job done. Oh, well, you seem pretty happy. Cool one.
Oh, I think they give it one more. Nope, nope, sorry. I'm looking up a little bit about these birds. There you go. I saw this one. Interesting. I see. I was looking at getting some of the other birds while I can in this, although I think going by this list, I've already missed a couple, so we'll just get the ones that I can get, and then we'll move on. This one is super rare. It's Fair Feather, the coolest peacock around.
Oh, so it's a pretty big win, huh?
Oh, there you go. And a good number of them. Not quite enough to get all of them, but alright. Move. Supposedly there's one here as well, and then we'll go to Midoricho Park, I think. Hi, Richter.
Would you look at that? That's a pretty unique looking playground. Did it catch your eye?
Perhaps now's not the time, though.
But it did get you interested. So you want to play on it?
I mean, quite the challenge to pass through if you go underneath there.
Definitely wants to play on it. We'll take a look if you're interested.
Alright, I'll go check out just to make sure.
You didn't have to think long about that. What's that? Did you find something?
I found a mockingbird under the playground equipment. Yeah, I'm talking about lucky. It's number 19, Penny Prattle.
There you go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's 12 out of 20. That's not too bad.
I see, congrats.
Alright. Well, I think
This area was closed off to the public this morning after the body was found, but the police quickly managed to complete their investigation and reopen the park as if nothing ever happened. The people in the area are shockingly calm considering what happened here. I think they put off knowing there was a dead body here just this morning. And when I heard it happened right about where you're standing now.
that's a little creepy, man. We don't mention that. Let's go to Midoricho Park.
Everyone is relaxing so peacefully in the park. It's hard to imagine it was the site of some horrid curse.
I have reason to believe that the curse bearer of the Taiko of Tsuguru was here last night. It's possible they're already dead, but we haven't found any definitive leads. Yeah.
We've reached...
Oh, there's Ayame. Hey, that lady over there. And that's Ayame Tono. He seems to be trying. Let's watch in silence first. I want to startle her to have her run off on us. Send him watch her for now. Alright, I'll be right back.
He's gone. Suppose he really wanted to talk with her.
What are you doing?
Oh, there he is. Does he mean to jump out and surprise her from behind? Does he mean to intimidate her? She noticed. I guess his purpose was to talk with her after all. I wonder what they're talking about. She doesn't look like she's planning to run. Oh, they're coming here.
Here she is. What do you think? Smooth work by the master,
Yes, very smooth.
Hello. Thank you so much for yesterday. I know this is sudden, but I'm actually being pursued right now.
Pursued by who?
I think it's the police. Would you be willing to provide me shelter?
From the police?
I figured we would hear her out and see what kind of mess she got herself in.
Don't make it sound like I'm some kind of criminal, please. The police have my apartment staked out, so I haven't been able to return home. I heard them say something about wanting to protect me, but something didn't feel right and I got scared.
Do you have any idea what they're after you?
Well, I've been searching for the curses, so we shouldn't trouble ourselves with hiding you if they're after you for a good reason.
Huh? How cruel.
This handsome investigator wouldn't turn me in so easily, would you?
Unfortunate, but we've got reason not to get involved with the police ourselves.
What shady reasoning.
If you got some murky secret to hide, we might as well cooperate with each other, no? If you've got some murky secret to hide, you might as well cooperate. Alright, guys. Anyway, how are your plans to resurrect Hokusai going?
Fortunately, that's been going quite well.
Oh? Does that mean you found someone to steal a curse stone from?
Not exactly, but I found a kind of last resort. Which is why I can't let the police get me.
Do you have the Yin Scroll? What do you mean by last resort?
You're really asking me that? Doesn't concern you at all. Why should I tell you?
What if we make a deal? In exchange for keeping us hidden from the police, you'll tell us about your last resort.
Ah, is that what got you interested?
Oh, I've got it. You're meaning to steal it for yourself. Not at all. I'm just curious.
An excuse will just not do. I don't need you to. I'll find a way to stay safe on my own.
That was a close one. I should have known the only one who can count on this world is yourself. We can't let her get away. Let's go after her. Stop it. Get any closer and I'll scream. Please wait. We'll help you out with no conditions. Well, you changed your mind quick. Just makes you all the more suspicious. Tried my best, but I couldn't convince her to stay.
Could it be you don't know how to handle a girl like that?
Since she's looking for a safe haven, you mind sharing your address with her just in case?
Well, it doesn't really bother me. But you do recognize there are police officers in my close family.
At least it'll allow us to keep in contact, no matter how small. That's an interesting one. Alright, let's move to the next part for now. Yes. There's so much. Let's do this. When we gain control of herself, Yako rejoins Mio on their search for the record of Fate's Yin Scroll. South Wadagasui Street. I know we're supposed to be finding that record of Fate's Yin Scroll thing, but sure would be nice if we had more of a lead to work with. Right now, our only option is to try to trace the bloodline of that Onmyoji Seaman's Shimakato to today. But he's not a legitimate descendant of his family, so the library doesn't have anything about it. And since we've got nothing so far, we find ourselves here. Looking for birds. Alright.
There are a bunch of people and police cars speeding by here earlier. wonder if something's happened. Must be. I've seen a few police officers and they looked like they were on edge. Could Inspector Tsutsumi have left Nejima escape and everyone scrambling to find him? Oh, after all the effort we put into gathering information, that would be unfortunate. So this is the Hako Soap headquarters. So we're thinking that one of the high-ranking people here is most likely the mastermind? Chairwoman Yamamori, was it? Wait, are chairwomen high-ranking? Isn't the most important person in the company the president? I'm not sure, but she's definitely an important person. And if we're able to meet with her, what do we talk with her about? We can't just waltz in there and ask if she knows about the Yin Scroll out of nowhere. Well, nothing ventured, nothing gained, as they say. Is that your working style, Mio? Or, well, whenever I find myself out of options, I usually just jump right into the thick of it. Well, if you're scared, I don't mind going in by myself. Scared? As if. Think of me as your trusty bodyguard. I don't mind going big and taking a chance. Oh yeah? There's the Yako I know. Oh, there it is. Mockingbird number 17.
Bad Bill. It's a spoonbill. Alright. Okay. Ooh. I'm actually fading a little fast tonight, so this might be actually where I end it and come back to this part. Ooh. I honestly thought I was closer to the end last time than I was. I was apparently not as close to the end as I thought. So, I think we'll finish it up on Wednesday night. But, if you stop by, even for a little bit, whether you're watching on Twitch or on YouTube, I want to thank you for coming in and spending some time, and I hope you've been enjoying the game as well. It's really fun. Awful. And really exciting, really interesting. With that being said, I hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a good day, a good night, a good evening. Hope you remember to drink water, take your medicine, eat some food, get some sleep, and take care of yourself the best that you can in this moment. So with that, for YouTube, bye-bye for now. See you next time.